What's up, everybody? I'm Eric Boucher for Specto Technology, and today I'm going to take you on a quick start of the Aeroqual AQS with gas and dust. And there are a total of 12 latches on the case. And some of those latches are quite stiff, so I want to go ahead and just really pull on them if they feel like they're not moving. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up our tripod that we're going to put everything on. So our tripod comes in 3 pieces for this kit. So we have the bracket where our AQS station is going to mount. We have the upper portion of the bracket for a weather station extension. And then we have the base of the tripod. So we'll set up the base first. Spread your legs out. Put those exactly where you want them. And then the bolts that are on here, which is what's going to tighten down the middle portion of the tripod, should already be approximately where they need to be. So if we don't touch those, we should get a pretty easy fit putting in the middle section. So this just slides through all the bolts. And then there's a little hook down here at the bottom that's going to rest into. And this bracket is also going to rest on the top section of the lower third of the tripod. And the side that has the 2 brackets on here is where the AQS is going to sit. And the side that only has 1 bracket, that's where our mini PowerMate battery pack is going to sit. So face those to the appropriate side. You can tighten up these little bolts. We'll just do that finger tight for now. The brackets are actually sitting on the top part of the tripod here, so this will still hold everything up even without these bolts nuts all cranked down. So the next thing we can do is pull out our mini PowerMate and hang that right here off the back of the tripod. I'll step over here. And then we're going to pull out our AQS. So it's a fairly tight squeeze into the foam there, so we'll just pull it out, grab it by the carrying handle here, and then there are 2 cutouts on the back of the AQS here that fit onto those 2 brackets. So we'll just slide those 2 cutouts and then you can see our AQS is locked onto the tripod there. And then for this kit, we have the weather station extension for a Vaisala weather station. So I'll go ahead and get that out of the top half of the case. So the Vaisala gets packed inside this foam packing material right here. We just pull the 2 pieces apart. So the other 2 common setups for your case are having either a gill weather station like we have here, and this would go in the top half of the case like the Vaisala was, and the gill is just packed under a little piece of foam here, and then you have your cable and the mount there, or you might have in your case a Aeroqual service kit. So this is our service kit that has all of our tools and extra accessories, and usually if you're getting multiple stations on a site, you might have 1 station with a weather station, and you'll get 1 service kit to go with all the stations. So one case will have your service kit, another case might have your Vaisala weather station or your gill weather station. So in our case, inside this service kit here, we have our cable for the Vaisala, which we'll go ahead and install now. So for our Visala weather station, I'll go ahead and take our Visala cable out of our service kit here. So this is our Visala cable. It has a green connector on one end and a silver connector on the other end. And we'll go ahead and take our Visala out of the box, and we'll just put it down for a second. Uncoil our Visala cable. So the green end of the Visala cable will get fed through the upper mounting extension for the weather station and through this bracket. That. Take our Visala and attach the cable here. And then we can go ahead and click this little bracket together. Always line up the set screw with this gray piece here, and then it's just a little half click to get that on there. And now the weather station has a notch on the bottom here of the extension pole, and that will mate into our tripod back here. And the notch will help this from not rotating. In, and voila. And then our Visala cable here will get plugged into the orange auxiliary sensor cable on the bottom of our AQS enclosure here. Now, if you're using a gill weather station, it's going to be very similar. Inside your enclosure with a gill weather station, you have a mounting bracket and your sensor with the cable already attached. So we'll do a similar setup with this. So with your gill weather station, you take your weather sensor extension, run your sensor cable through the mounting bracket, and then you're simply going to tighten down this with a screwdriver here, and you can use the included multi-bit screwdriver and adjustable wrench from your service kit. Get a nice tight connection there. You don't need to over tighten this because you're tightening the metal bracket down onto plastic tubing. Just tight enough so it doesn't rotate freely. And then same thing, you have a notch on the bottom here, and this would go into the top of the tripod like so. So now the final step for completing our setup here is to connect our power and power up our system. So the DC power input is going to be this Anderson blue, that is key blue here, and we have another blue Anderson boot on our mini power mate. Simply plug those in and we're now connected to power. And now we could turn on our AQS. But before we do that, we'll just connect one last thing here. This little connector that is taped on to the gas inlet here needs to be removed from the tape. Get rid of that tape there. Now the gas inlet for shipping has been plugged, so we just need to remove this little plug from the swage lock and place our plastic fitting, which has a little filter on the end. And then just tighten that on finger tight. Does not have to be cranked down. Now that everything's attached, we can simply switch our power switch over to battery. And our system will power up, and within a minute or two our data will be available on Aeroqual Cloud.